Okay, we're back. Um, this is so funny, she says, not looking at the screen. Um, we were at the second archetype. I was done with the archetype angel. And before we go into the second archetype, um, it's so funny because I was grounding and I asked for whomever wants to speak to step forward, and who stepped forward is Kali. She's the goddess of death and destruction, and she is also considered as Mother Nature, which is very fitting for this subject today. So, we're going to move on with the second archetype. I chose three archetypes. These were the three that was revealed to me about the fires, the wildfires, and the storms that have been happening during the summer, and the increase in heat wave across the globe, kind of northern hemisphere. Does that make sense? I think so. Listen, just stay with me. All right, so second archetype is servant. Again, these were the questions I was asking, and these are the answers I received for these questions. So the question I asked was, how does the servant archetype tie into the burning fires and hailing storm of the summer? What does it reflect back to us? Again, inner world being reflected back to us in the external world through these wildfires and climate change. So here's the answer from OneZion. The support of Mother Earth has always been one of service, as are you of service to oneself and others. When the fires burn within you, urging you to take command of your life through the power of your thoughts, of your mind, you are expected to respond. Now that these fires burn even more, are you paying attention? Pay attention. We are speaking to you through her response to your actions. This is a consequence, a symptom, a cry for help, a cry for attention. What has your body been telling you? What has your spouse, life, colleagues been telling you through their actions, behaviors, and words? They are all representations of you. They are simply mimicking the thoughts and feelings of oneself. They are, again, we must reiterate, your mirrors. You are mirrors, your reflection. They project back to you your inner self, the one that has been speaking, interjecting, rebelling, and now screaming at you. Listen to them, listen to the voice within, who now has no other choice but to retaliate against your denial. Be at peace with the fact that this system is well organized within the chaos of your inner wilderness. It is well devised. Again, speaking of this as above, so below, inner, outer, it's going to stay. This is the theme of this subject, of the question that I've asked about what is it reflecting back to us. And again, they're saying, are you paying attention? Are you progressing in a way where now you are not only aware, but you are listening to every single you're listening to the voice and paying attention to every single breadcrumbs on the path that has been designated for you, that you have chosen yourself? Are you paying attention? Are you picking up on every one of them? Assessing the situation in knowing that only you can discover and understand what your inner self is saying. Pay attention. Okay, so now they continue by stating, Promote listening. Listen to the voice within. It is speaking to you. Not that now that the fires have been, for the most part, inst- I wrote distinguish, but that's not the word. What's the word? Instinguish? You know what I mean. Are you now paying attention? Assessing the damages, suffocating the voice, or taking notes? Take notes. Be proactive and actively listen and observe the disturbances. Be aware of the inner calling to better health, change in career, wellness, and peace within. Be at peace with all of it and welcome it into your life. Have compassion for oneself when observing and accepting what is. Note that you can change it through your surrendering. Let it go, let the divine take over. Explore and be attentive. Silent remembering is required. Okay, so now they're speaking of, now that it has subsided in some sense, in some way, are you picking up on what it's been showing to you? So now it's not only, okay, I've acknowledged it, now I'm assessing the damage. Where, is it in every aspect of my life? Is it in one aspect only? What are the beliefs attached to, to what is being shown to me? Where am I in my personal life like this? These are all valid questions to ask yourself, and that's when you're doing the assessment. This is the assessment. This is looking at assessing the damage of the wildfires within you. And it could also be a burning passion, but the theme right now is more release, other than anything else, purification and cleansing. So what is showing up for you when it comes to this? Did they mention something else that I wanted to pick up on? Yes. So when you're assessing it, assess without guilt, without shame. For there is nothing to be ashamed of, and there is no guilt to be had. This is part of your path. It is part of your conditioning and also what you have selected for your progression here, on your journey here. This is simply about accountability. It's about acknowledging the jewels, the lessons from each circumstances. Acknowledge them and analyze them. Be with it and then let it go. When you process the information given to you through these situations, you can eventually, and this is the output, the outcome, eventually it detaches from you. Okay, so what she's trying to say is that when you face head on the situation of the past, and we're specifically talking about the past, when you face that and you analyze it, you are able to see who you are objectively according to that circumstance. I wish I could give you an example. I have to get personal. I think I'm going to have to get personal. Do I have to get personal? Because I didn't want to get too personal, because then, people watch and then it may affect a certain area of my life. I don't know how to give an example here. Okay, example. We got an example here. you make an appointment with someone over and over again. Whenever you make the appointment with that particular person, let's say a friend, the friend is always late. Always late. Doesn't text to say they're going to be late, and text they're going to be late, for instance, 30 minutes after being late. They're already 30 minutes late, and they text you then to say, oh, listen, I'm going to be late. Let's just say it's that. Over and over again, you find yourself in a circumstance like this, that your friend is always late. Or you have a meeting, and the people for the meeting are late, or they misunderstood the time, or there was miscommunication about the time of the meeting. You've been noticing this, but you haven't paid too much attention, and then you've created this narrative that nobody respects my time. I'm always showing up, but nobody shows up. Nobody shows up for me, let's say, and nobody respects my time. Now, if you look at this situation, all the situations that are showing up in this way, where the question you ask yourself is, where in my life am I always late? Where in my life am I not showing up? Where in my life, in which area in my life or with myself, am I not respecting myself? And that's where you go deeper, because this is about deeper inner work. It's not the surface level work. This is deeper inner work, because we're at that phase now. Deeper inner work before we get to the, I was going to say before we get to the next phase, but we're already in the next phase. It's already there. We're already there. It has already opened, split. It already happened. It's already happening, that split. So where? Where in your life? When are you doing this? Ask yourself these questions. So now when you ask and you are honest about it, because you have to be honest. You have to be honest about this. You cannot hide from it any longer. You cannot let it seep into your life any longer. You have to face it. It's not even a question of it's not even a time. It's now. It's not tomorrow. It's not in 30 days, and it's not going to be in 10 years. It has to be done now. Because let me tell you, 2024 is not going to be, it's not to be taken lightly. Let's just say that. I'm not going to try to talk doomsday or anything like that. It's not about that, really. So, where? So, that's the type of deeper work and questions you have to ask yourself. Where in your life are you showing up in this way? That's what we're talking about. So, they're talking about, oh, I missed a call. They're talking about this inner calling, this inner work, because you hear it every day. You hear that little voice telling you, you have that inner knowing. But we're like, on the side, please. I don't want to deal with you. You can no longer sweep it under the rug, because now the rug is looking like a mountain because there's so much ish underneath it. You got to deal with it. All right? So, yeah. Okay, next. Let me see if I can pronounce this properly. Dilettante. Dilettante. Yeah, the word is dilettante. Let me find the definition of dilettante. Give me a moment. Oh, I have it here. And one moment, please. Okay. So, let's see here. According to that lady, I'm doing a lot of reading here. Apologies. Can you tell my age with how I'm holding this booklet? Okay, so dilettante is amateur, a lover of fine arts who never rises above the level of an amateur. By extension, a jack of all trades, master of none. Oh, that is so... Okay. Amateur applies to the realm of sports or useful arts such as cooking and gardening. Both can alert you to the danger of becoming merely superficial in your pursuits or losing the love that drew you to your avocation in the first place. Shadow dilettante manifest as a pretension to much deeper knowledge than you actually possess, taking your dabbling too seriously. That's where we're coming in with dilettante, and we're talking about this is not surface level, this is now deeper inner work, not surface inner work. Because let me just read it. Let me read what they said. So we are now accessing new challenges. They are now in a new orbit. They're speaking about the split, the shift that has occurred, which is opening now. It has opened already. The sacred self can no longer permit the attitudes, values, and behaviors of old. It is time to step up and tie the knots over the gift of the past. The present moment is the past made new. When reflecting on the past, you do not permit yourself to move on to the next phase. It is time to move on. Move forward along the lines of divine intercession. Allow forgiveness. Be willing, and more than this, be aligned with forgiveness, letting go and surrendering the past to the realm of forgotten hurts and wounded children. For the transmutation of old hurts, will be received and given back as treasures of divided selves. All selves will be reunited as one. Let it be, and throw away the key of imprisonment. For now you are unleashed into your present future. The future is now with forgiveness, which is simply giving yourself the gift of freedom from the past. Your present self is thankful to your past self, and the past leaves you with the gift of peace. So forgiveness is necessary now. Forgiveness simply means letting go of your perception of what has occurred. Because it's all about perception. It's what you think happened. But in reality, that's not what had happened. It's your perception of the situation, according to your perception of self at the time and the perception of the other parties at that time as well. It's a perception. It's about changing your perception now of the past. And by doing so, again, if we go to the analogy of the note, sending yourself a note, a postcard, when you make the changes on that postcard, what happens is that your future self that is present is now a new person. It's not the same. It's a new person, and the circumstances that arise are from that new perspective, which is a perspective of forgiveness, which is a perspective of letting go and letting God. So I hope that's helpful. Let me see if there's anything else they would like to add. They would like to add a light transmission, which we shall do. I have spoken for far too long now. I apologize. I don't know why I'm apologizing. I didn't think that my videos would be long like this, but they turn out to all be long. So let's do the light transmission. It's gonna be it's a release. Okay, they're telling me the affirmation that I've been saying for the past few days while I was doing this work for the past few months. Actually, I've been doing the work for the whole month of August. I started this. So I started saying affirmation, release, loose, let God, let go. And I made it into a little song. Release, loose, let God, let go. Release, loose, let God, let go. Release, loose, let God, let go. It stays in my head, so they started saying that. So yeah. So whenever I have a situation or something that I'm working on, forgiveness part, and then I get all amped up and I start feeling shame or guilt, I start saying, release, loose, let God, let go. Release, loose, let God, let go. Release, loose, let God, let go. All is well, I am safe. All is well, I am safe. And that's it. That way you can move on and you can continue the work without feeling all this guilt and this shame. Okay, so let's do that. Light language transmission for release of the past, shame, guilt, groundedness, willingness, because you need to be willing to do this work. A it's going to get you very far to be actually willing. We don't want to be forceful with that. We just want to be willing. So it could happen with ease and flow. And so we said willingness, release, forgiveness, groundedness. Yeah. So you could enter into the last stretch of the year in a better place to open yourself to receive. So let's do this. As usual, we ask you to sit or lie down, comfortable position. Make sure that there is contact with the ground, since we're going to do some grounding work as well. We're going to ask you to take a deep breath in, hold at the top, and let go. Inhale, hold, exhale. Once more, inhale, hold, and let go. Feel your connection to Mother Earth. We call her in for assistance in liberating us from our burdens of the past. We allow her to come in and take form in order to accompany us through this process. Gaia is a nurturer, a sustainer, a provider. Allow her to provide her help, her support, and her nurturing. We call in the grace of compassion, kindness, loving kindness, and nurturing. And as you see her taking form, surrounded by the light, let her be with you. I am OneZion, and as we proceed, please take place now. The transmission begins. Receive the codes and allow it to filter in through your entire vessel, from your skin to your blood to every single cell of your body, from the top of your head to the tip of your toes. denari no more, denari no more, sanare au, nunare au, awarina hinuriase, Sanarno hunneri, sono hunneri tumorundai neneri, hunneri, soruri Sanaye namahe anahundorahe ayanundo hirahe danaye ayaye anahundo hirahe. Sanani morinare tamare torosanahe. Whenever you're ready, feel yourself coming back to your body. Allow your senses to be revived, knowing that it is safe to be in your body. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Bring yourself back, bring yourself back. You have now allowed space for the upcoming work, for grace of nurturing, compassion, and loving kindness to accompany you through this journey for the months to come. And with love, we thank you for having spent time with us, for allowing us to give you the gift of present time, of love, and of nurturing. We blissfully leave you with the one, this vessel. Alright. I don't know about you, but I'm hot right now. Alright, so drink lots of water as always. Very, very important. Rest. Take out your pen, paper, journal. Start writing what came up for you, how you're feeling, what memories, what thoughts came up, because they're coming up. They've been coming up. Start journaling whatever comes up. Whatever comes up. And if ever you would like to know my own process of doing so, what I've been doing in the past month, please let me know. And I'll see if I get a lot of requests, we'll share it. Alright? So thanks again for joining me here today. And have a nice day, evening, afternoon, wherever you are. Peace and blessings.